Hey y'all, back with another video, and we're going to open up with the scripture again, the same one, but this time I slowed it down. Immediately the boy's father exclaimed, "I do believe, help me overcome my unbelief." And so we're going to hop right into the video. Our brows are already done, and then we're going to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow primer because I wanted this look to pop and to use something different, so there we go. And today we're going to use the Magic Mini by Juvia's Place. Now, I'm not going to try and pronounce some of the names that I use. I did just put them in the corner. Some of them are easy, like this one, Nana. But yeah, we're just gonna place that in the crease. The usual, not much has changed with this look except the colors. I wanted to go for something that was vibrant and only using this one palette, and so I'm proud of how this look turned out. I really liked it, and that's why I'm naming this tutorial a bombshell look, because I felt like this was kind of a bombshell look, like the glam, the eyes, the lips, and the top that I was wearing, like it just all flowed so effortlessly. So yeah, that's that. And we go in on the lid with those two colors. First I used Aja, and then I went in with Buzo, and I said I wasn't going to pronounce them, but I'm still trying to. But yeah, we go in with the darker color first on the bottom just to use as a base, and then you'll see I go in with my fingers for that lighter green to just amplify it a little bit more. But yeah, this has been a year, obviously, and as we wrap up 2020, I kind of reached a space where it was just like, God, I have tried all year to like keep it together, but right now I'm just over it. And I felt kind of bad saying that, but at the same time I was just like, God, I'm really working on being honest with you about my feelings, and like working on trusting you more and having faith that everything is going to be all right. But right now, like, I'm just tired of holding it together, or quote unquote holding it together. Like, I don't know what it was. It could have been me grieving my grandmother still, especially during this holiday season. Just being reminded of the Thanksgivings that we spent together and us baking sweet potato pies. And then her birthday was December 6th, and that was like right after Thanksgiving. And then here comes Christmas again, and not getting her a gift or like spending that day with her. And so yeah, I was just in my feelings a lot. That was me saying I'm not going to pronounce that one at all. But I went with that blue because I felt like it was a disconnection from that orange to the green, and I was like, I need something to like balance this out a little bit. But I didn't want to go in with the brown and use another palette, so my cosmetology license, color theory, came into play. It's like, okay, what can I use to blend this and make it all work? So whenever there's something orangey that you want to kind of cancel out or neutralize, you got to go in with the blue. So that's why I went with that shade, and it worked out perfect because it was still there. Like, you can still see the blue, you can still see the orange, but it was a healthy balance of it. It wasn't like overpowering. It's still completely wearable. And this is where we speed things up because we just did it on the other side. And we go in a little heavier to kind of cut out that process, because I did take my time with that first eye because I was just like, we don't know how this is really going to look, so we're just going to take our time. But when it turned out in a way that I was pleased with it, I was like, okay, we can amp it up on the other side. So we're just going to speed it up, and you're going to see how we do this a lot quicker. And well, not quicker in the sense of speed, but just with the amount of product that I used. But yeah, I think I was just grieving my grandmother a lot and still processing the fact that, you know, she's no longer with us. And it's a journey for sure. It's tough, and I definitely still have my days to where it's like, wow. Like, even when I talk to my mom, I can't ask her how her patients are doing because she takes care of her brother and she was taking care of my grandma. So calling and seeing how both of them were doing now is just like, wow, I can only ask about my uncle. And so yeah, it's just been tough processing that and processing the fact that I'm still in a new city and working on my own career, like trying to figure things out in that sense. And I think it just all hit at once, like, wow, this has been 2020. Like, all of it was real, all of it happened, and here we are in December with no justice for any of the I don't even know how to say this, but just no justice for Breonna Taylor, no justice for George Floyd, no justice for Ahmaud Arbery. And I'm just like, what is 2020? And even for me personally, like, there were moments where I was excited because it's like, okay, God, I understand what it is that what I have to do and what you're working on for me and in me. But at the same time, it's just like the frustration of the work, like this process of healing and starting your own and building something that will last for you and your family and just breaking generational curses. Like, it can be a lot. And I think I just finally reached that moment where it was like, I'm done. Like, I'm tired. And my therapist and I, we talked about it in our sessions a lot too. And it's just like, it's okay if you're at that point. Like, you're doing a lot right now. And sometimes you just need that break. Sometimes you just need to take a step back and just rest. Like, and I think I've said this in a previous video, like, you need your rest days. And but this holiday season coming, well, being here right now, I was just like, it was a lot emotionally. And so I definitely just took the necessary break. I did record some looks, obviously this one, but there was one that I recorded and I cried after because it just, like, it was nice, but I don't know, it just didn't hit right because I know my emotions weren't in it. And I'm the type of person where if my emotions are not like fully involved in it, or like, I'm trying to figure out the words to explain this, but if my emotions are not behind it, it's not going to come out the way that I wanted to. And that look, it was kind of me forcing it to make it happen. And when I was done, I was just like, I can't. And I cried and I cried. And then I had to leave the house because I was just like, I need some fresh air. I need to get out. Like, this is not okay. And so I just took the necessary break that I needed to. And my therapist also reminded me that in this moment, it's okay if I'm not emotionally attached to things or like wanting to talk to people and just be by myself. And that's what I did before I went home to Charleston. Like, I spent a lot of time in my room. Like, I would come out to cook and talk to my sister and my niece a little bit, but it wasn't a whole lot of conversations with anybody. Like, people that would call me or text me, like, sometimes I did ignore it and I was like, I don't want to talk to anybody right now. And it's not the healthiest in the sense that you shouldn't be shutting people out, but in the idea of, I just need a moment to myself. That's what I needed, and that's what I gave myself. But when I got home to Charleston, like, seeing my niece, talking with my brother, seeing my mom, and like my godson and his brother, my nephews, like, just being with them helped. And I went and I saw my grandmother's sister. She's like my third grandma. And so I spent time with her and gave her her Christmas present, and we talked and catched up. And so it was good to have those moments where it's like, okay, this is what I needed. This is the pick-me-up that I needed. Like, I needed to get back home to the roots and like be around the people that I really love and care about in a place that is dear to my heart. And it's not to say that Atlanta isn't dear to my heart, but it's not home. You know what I mean? Like, it's not where I grew up. It's not where I have the best memories, where I love this place, because that's why I'm here now, is to recreate different memories, because of the last time I was here, it wasn't the best. And going home was what I really needed. So yeah. Overall, it's been a great holiday season. Thanksgiving was great. Christmas was great. We still were able to bless everyone with gifts and spend Christmas together and have a big dinner. And I cooked both dinners, Thanksgiving and Christmas, so that was a blessing. And I just have to remind myself of the things that I do have and the people that are here. Just love on them a little more, because our family did lose another member. Like, we did lose another member of the family, and that was also a trigger because it was so unexpected. Like, when my sister gave me the news, I was just like, ain't no way, like, what? And so hearing about her passing and watching some of her funeral live, it was heartbreaking, and that definitely added to the grief that was already there. So yeah, this holiday season, I definitely took the time to, or I am taking the time to be thankful of the things that I do have, and not hold on to the grief so much, because there's still a lot more to be thankful for and to give God praise for. And I told my therapist this, like, I'm truly understanding the Bible more and being able to relate to it more and understand my upbringing and what the people would say in a worship service and all the things that they talked about how God was, like, or how he is, because he still is. I'm just fully understanding that, and just, it's weird and it's different, but it's necessary. So I hope this is all making sense. I say that all the time, but I'm learning and I'm growing and I'm getting much better with it, and I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful that I had the opportunity to record these videos and have this gift, first of all, and to be able to have the products that I have and be able to do all of these things. Like, sometimes we just sit back and criticize what we don't have or criticize what we can't do, instead of being thankful for the things that we do have and what we can do. And when you change, like, I've definitely been on the journey of changing my mindset, because when I was depressed and like struggling with my purpose and understanding what it is that I'm supposed to do while I'm here, it was just a negative space, and it was negative for so long. And I'm understanding that I can't transform those years in 2 months or 3 months or a year or so, because it was a long time of doubting myself and criticizing myself and not liking myself, and starting this journey of changing my mindset and changing my lifestyle is going to take some time, because it's been so long of living one way. When you're trying to live a new way, it's a big adjustment, because you're so used to being in that space. Is when you're starting something new, of course, it's unfamiliar. And so I'm just reminding myself to show me grace, to show myself some compassion. And when I can do those things for myself, I can do them for other people. And that's why at the end of every video, I say, love God, love yourself. Because when you love yourself and you can do those things for yourself, it's much easier to give it to other people. And I think that's why the world is in the place that it is. It's because we don't take the time to care for ourselves and love ourselves, show ourselves grace, show ourselves compassion, protect our inner child. And some people do it, but it's in a way that is not healthy. And some people do it to where it's like selfish in a negative way. So I think it's just a hard balance of figuring out how to do it in a healthy way and in a way where it's like, I don't know, in a way where it's not cutting other people out of your life, or, you know, I can't explain it right now. This is where my therapist comes in, and like she breaks it down in a way that I cannot. And I just love her so much. Like, if you're not seeing a therapist, I highly recommend you talk to someone, even if it's just one session. Like, just see where it can go, see what you can unpack, and it can really change your life for the better. But yeah, we're wrapping things up. I hope you guys enjoyed this makeup look and this conversation today. Yeah, we go in and we line our eyes. I was definitely about to say lips. That's MAC Technakohl pencil in Superfly, I believe. I used it in my last video. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm just preparing myself for 2021 the best way that I possibly can. I don't think there's really a way to prepare for it. That's another thing that I've kind of been struggling with. It's like I'm kind of entering 2021 with like zero expectations. It's just like I don't want to hope for nothing. I don't want to wish for nothing. I just want to take it one day at a time. But then on the other side, it's just like, that's not faith. Like, believe for something, hope for something. And it's just taking me some time. You know, I'm definitely excited to see where God is taking my gift and the business that I want to create. And I know that I will be working on that, because I've been working on that since I got to Atlanta, like just taking baby steps. And so I think I know in 2021, I want to continue taking steps, like maybe bigger steps and not the baby steps anymore. And just really step out on faith and walk this thing out with him, because I know that he's by my side, and I know that my granny is with me too. And so building my confidence and believing in myself more is definitely something that I'm working towards in 2021. And I'm focusing more on winning versus not losing, if that makes sense. Because when I was in college, I was a speaker for a conference, for one of our women's leadership conference, and that's what I talked about. Are we playing to win, or are we playing not to lose? Because if you're operating out of I don't want to lose, that's just like operating out of a lack of something, if that makes sense. Like, you should be playing to win. You should be studying to pass the class, not just so you can't fail, because I just believe you'll be holding out on so much more if you're only playing just so you won't lose, or just so you won't fail the class, instead of working to win. Because when you play to win and you work to win, you release everything that's inside of you. And so that's one of my goals for 2020, is to operate out of the abundance and not a lack, maybe. I hope that makes sense. Because when I'm playing not to lose, it's just like I think that I don't have enough, so I gotta use the little bit that I do have, when in fact I do have more than enough. And I can release all of that and actually win. And when I think of who my coach is, God, and who is leading me and directing me, who's behind me, he's undefeated. And there's this song that says, he's undefeated, you always win. And I was dreaming one night, and that song was in my dream. He's undefeated. And when you think of that, you already go in with that mindset, I have to win, I am going to win. And so that's what I'm looking forward to in 2021. just operating out of a supernatural strength, because that's who he is. Yeah, that's the final look, guys. I'm glad I went with this lip and not a nude lip, because it kind of would have been slightly boring. But in a way, it's nude-ish, but not really. That is actually... Hold on, I'm getting it. Should have had it in front of me, I'm sorry. That is Verve, Verve from MAC. I'll list it down in the description box below. But it is a beautiful satin lip finish. Yeah, and it went perfect with this look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember, love God, love yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.